guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Keneiloe Myoli, and if you're here for the first time, welcome. I hope that you will like it, share and subscribe on the red button down below to become part of this family. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I really appreciate your continuous support. So we are on the road to 500 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. So in this week's video, I thought I'd share with mummies how I decided on a school or a creche for our son. So what I did initially was I asked a few people around which creches they took their kids to, and secondly I searched on Google. And also there was a Facebook group of people that stay in my area, so I would see people recommending. People would ask, like, I want to take my child to school, which school would you recommend? So I used those 3 points and on deciding which schools I'm gonna shortlist. After that, I made calls. Before I made the calls, I would look through the websites of the schools, see if they have the website, which information they have, what do they offer the kids, the fees, all of that stuff. After that, I now looked at which schools, the distance. It was important that the school is not too far away. We don't want to be driving for ages, or which road had now a lot of traffic. That was the other point that we looked at, and that's how I got to a few of the schools that I already looked at. After that, I now started making appointments with the various schools so that we can do a tour on the school. And what I would recommend also is, depending on the age of your child, take the child with, just see their reaction and how they behave at a particular school. And also, what's important now also is COVID, like what measures are they taking, for COVID. Do they take the kids' temperatures? Do the teachers have masks on all the time? Things like that. Do they stay far from the school? Because if it's too much staff, it means that a lot of them are probably taking public transport to get to their premises. So what we did then was we spoke to the respective schools, and we made appointments to go see the schools, and we took our son with. I remember the first school that we went to, it was not too far from us, but we noticed as we were driving there that, okay, this road usually has a lot of traffic in the morning, and it's quite deep in the suburbs, so it's going to take quite long for us to get there. That was the first point. The second point was also we noticed that the school is quite big and they have a lot of staff. It's nice in terms of the different classes have a couple of assistants, so it will have one teacher, and then it will have maybe 2-3 assistants depending on how old the kids are, because obviously the smaller kids, they need more attention, so they need more assistants. And also they show you where the kids put the bags. My son was just okay. He didn't seem to like it too much, but he didn't cry. And also some schools are based on a religious schools, or are they Christian school? Do they read the Bible, or what do they eat, their menu, and also how long the school has been around. The particular school had been around for a lot of years, guys. I think it was around maybe 50 years or so, but it was very long. So in terms of reputation wise, the school was okay. I think our main issue there was the distance, and also it had options of 2 to 3 times a week if you don't want to take your child every day. That was the first school, and we thought, okay, it's not bad. Even price wise, most of the schools ranged around the same price anyway in our area, which is around 4,000 a month. Yeah, more or less 4,000 a month. And then they would get the food, breakfast there, and then you just need to pack snacks. That was the first school. The second school that we went to see, it looked so nice. They had a gym, they had chef classes, and we got to the school. We found out that the school just started. They just started. So I think they'd been open for like a month or so, or even less. So the first thing that we noticed was that the principal was not very clued up on what is actually happening at the school. Like, what age do they potty train? She's like, I think, but she didn't sound too sure of anything. And so that was a big red flag for us, the fact that it was very much new. The second part was that the principal didn't really know what was happening. The space was quite small for the number of kids that they were taking, and with COVID times. And also what we noticed was, yes, with COVID you view creches or after hours when the kids are not there, but what we noticed also was that we could just enter and no one took our temperatures and all of that stuff. So we just like, no, I think they'll be experimenting with our child, so we definitely can't risk this one. And it was so weird because, judging from what I saw online, I was so sure like this is the perfect school for our child, right? And it turned out not to be perfect. So I remember like on our way back, and also my son fell asleep. He wasn't like excited or anything, he fell asleep. So my husband was like, our child was even bored at this place, so it's not gonna work. The third school was even way more expensive actually. It was a smaller group, but they had like very extreme expectations. Like, you were gonna spend way more on buying, for example, they'd say like for a 1-year-old you need 10 nappies and you need a number of these. But also with a lot of the schools, I noticed that they exaggerate the number of things they need. I think maybe they don't want a child to run short, and then what is the child supposed to do, you know? But that one, they needed like family pictures. It was just, they were too strict for us unnecessarily, so we decided against it. We didn't even go view it. Fourth school is not too far from us. We've actually seen the place from outside, but we wanted to see inside. And when we got there, all the kids were sleeping literally like right on top of each other. Like, there's a child here, there's a child there. They had one assistant and there were so many of them in one class. The school was so small. The kids are crying. When they opened the door, Shem, the helper or the assistant, would struggle with so many kids. And I think we didn't like the space in general because of COVID times, and judging by the other schools that we had actually went to view, this one was our least favorite. And it had such a good reputation. People are saying it's the best, but we didn't like it, so it didn't work for us. And then I happened to see a school also that's not too far from my place. It's actually about a 5-minute drive or so. We went to see it, went to see after hours. They opened the gate for us. We did a tour with the principal and we were so impressed. So we walked in, the school was nice, had a waiting area. They separate the kids according to different ages. They have meals. The person who was making the food for them is a qualified chef. It's sort of like a family business. And our son, guys, he was so happy. All he wanted to do was play. And my son is so shy, but he was so happy. And we could tell like this is the one, you know. This was the one. It was close by. It was even more affordable than all the schools. It had been around for so many years. It had a good reputation, and and so everything like we were happy about. So that's how we basically decided on which school we're gonna be taking him on. Oh, also what I loved was that as much as they, especially for my son because he was one at the time, you don't want kids to be like learning too many stuff because of their age. They need to play a lot, so they did emphasize that at my son's age, yes, they do teach them, yes, they do pray, read the Bible, teach them this and that. They actually had a program of what they do on a daily basis at what time, but for their age they had to, all they did was play a lot. And I could tell like this particular creche invested so much to cater to the different needs of all the kids, which I absolutely loved. So that's how we decided on the best creche for our son, and he was happy. And also when he did start, we did get like photos of him. Is he okay? They have cameras also. Unfortunately for the with the cameras we can't see them live, but if something was to happen to the kid and you have questions, you can always go to the school and they'll replay the cameras for you to see also what happened. And things like food also, they would write in the book every day like this is what he did, this is what he ate, he didn't eat, in case he reacts to something, and this is how much he peed, this is how many times he passed stools, you know. So as a parent you are at ease, like okay, my child is okay, my child is okay. And at any time of the day you could call the school and check like how is he doing. And also for us it's around the corner which is quite nice. So I hope that this will help you when you're trying to decide on the school that you should take your child to. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't enjoy it, thumbs it up anyway. It reminds me of Kelly B. And comment in the comment section down below what was important for you when you were looking for your child's school or creche. And share this video with your family and friends. Hit the notification button so that you're notified every time I upload a video. And until the next one, bye.